Hall of Fame ballot for the first time next year. I'm wondering what your thoughts are on his Hall of Fame case.
I absolutely, all the years I was around Jimmy, and I think actually as a player, sometimes Jimmy was an underrated player. I think that he definitely should be considered for the Hall of Fame, and with a good chance of getting in. If you look at if you follow his career and you look at his stats, you look at it as a leadoff hitter, things like that, compare him with what kind of player that he was, and try to find somebody that's in the Hall of Fame to compare him with. I think that he'll actually score good. He's a guy. His RBIs and his run total speaks for itself. His RBIs come usually with the bottom of the order on base and things like that. And that means a whole lot. I think Jimmy defense. I think his defense got overlooked because he was a good player and he could run good and he had a good bat.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Hey, Charlie. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Tom. What's up?
How you doing? All right.
I'm doing good.
How you feeling?
I feel good. Feel good and very happy to be in spring training. Yes.
You've been to so many. I mean, just the fact that there is a spring training and you're there. How cool is it this year?
Well, first of all, you know how long I've been away from a game, almost 2 years. But at the same time, like coming to spring training, I just walking out there, first day of live BP, Tom. Like I thought I didn't miss a beat. I was excited just to watch BP, and I'm happy to be here.
Is there anything that has stood out that your eyes have told you that you're excited about?
Yeah. What's really stood out, all of our players are in shape. Everyone I've seen so far, like I've seen most of every one of them, they're in good shape. They're in great spirits. I was surprised that we have a kind of a cello team that definitely gets along with one another, and I've seen a difference in the whole culture of this team as far as one another really getting along, and liking to be around guys. And it puts me in the mind of some of our old Philly teams, really. Like when you come to spring training, you see all the players mingling with one another. I think that we're in a position now. And I say that, too, because if you look at we bought JT back, we bought DD back, and we got Baum as a new player came up last year, and we got all these pieces now, and we definitely got added pitchers to our roster, but we got guys they're in the point of their career, and they've stayed together and they're around each other longer, that we should be really improving, because we definitely have camaraderie and life and energy on our team. I'm kind of really looking to see us play. I think we're going to have a what you call a much tighter knit team this year.
Cool. All right. Thanks, bud.
Yeah.
Let's go to Jimmy next, and then we'll go to Bob Brookover.
Hey, Charlie.
Hey, Jimmy, what's up, man?
Good to see you, buddy. How's it going?
Good to see you, man. I'm kind of disappointed because I can't get on you now that I'm on the line with you. So let's go.
Yeah, you can't get on me because my wife's right over there, and she'll kick you.
I hear you. That's good. You're looking good.
So, what do you think Walter Alston would have thought of talking to the reporters on a Zoom video?
I think that Walter, you know what? He was a quiet anyway. He might not have too much to say, but whatever he said would have been. I think you would have got his message.
Chuck, I'd like to ask you about three players that are going to get a lot of looks in camp, and that would be Kingery, Hazley, and Roman Quinn. And I know you've seen them over the years. They're going to be battling for that center field position. None of them have really hit consistently.
Right.
What is kind of your take on those three guys as sort of a guy with educated hitting eyes? Do you think it's going to happen for them?
Right. I think if you're talking about three guys, and I'll take Roman Quinn first. We're going to take Roman Quinn, switch hitter, Kenny Lofton kind of ball player, table setter, lead off hitter. If you like if he plays up to his potential, things like that. He's capable of stealing on a good year. He's capable of stealing at least 50 to 70 bags. He's capable of, he's capable, and we have projected him high. And for some reason, injuries and things like that, he's never really been able to stay in the lineup and put his game on the field. We don't. What I've seen over the course of time with him being in the big leagues, he'll show you. He shows that talent, but he can go a long time and not show those pluses. He's got an arm, a great arm. He's got great speed. He's got good defense, and he's got a little power for a little guy, just enough to kind of get him in trouble. But he needs to learn his game. Like when I say know thyself, well, he's got to realize what kind of game he's supposed to play and should play. To be productive at the major league level, to be contribute to our team and stay in the big leagues. Then we got Kingery. We signed him a couple years ago to a contract. And we had a great expectation for him, and and he changed his stance and his swing, and right now he's really working right here today, really trying to find the swing that he had and things like that, and he definitely has to go back to playing within his limits. There again, we're talking about what am I capable of, and know thyself as far as his talent, use his talent to and improve and be the player like he was. Last year he played in the minor leagues, and also that guy that came into spring training that we signed, and then after we signed him, 2 or 3 days later, he changed his stance, and he's got to get back to being productive, and to be that player that we want.
I got you. And Hazley, a little bit. What do you see on him?
I see Hazley's young for the big leagues, really. If 2 years ago he came up and he held his own 2 years ago, Jimmy. Really, if you stop and think about it, he played pretty good. He played a pretty stable center field. He made some good catches every now and then. He was very, he was very stable. But at the same time, too, he's got to be a little stronger with the bat. And I look at Hazley and I think the better he hits, the more he's going to get to play. And go ahead.
Joe said the other day that he wants Kingery line drive approach gap to gap. Do you see that as the type of guy he should be?
I think Kingery's a gap to gap hitter. I think his stats, one of the biggest years that any of our minor leaguers would have was when he was in AAA and AA, and then came to AAA, and then ended up, of course, being next year getting a shot to major leagues. I think he's got to go back to that style of play. I think he's changed his style, since then.
Okay, all right.
Joe's right. I mean that.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, thank you, Chuck. It's great to see you, man.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Charlie, good to see you.
Good to see. Yeah. How you doing, Brooke? How you doing?
Doing good. You're looking great, man.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm just doing. It seems like the Phillies may be in line after some really bad luck things to have some good luck. How much do you think luck has to do with getting a team to the postseason and just being successful? Obviously, you got to be good, but how much do you believe in luck?
I think something. I think. I mean, you're talking today, and you can't put a percentage on luck. Because some years, things go better, so much better for you as far as luck department than they do others. And luck does play a big part. And we don't talk a lot about how lucky we are and things like that. Luck counts. For instance, like we in our pitching staff and our pitchers for about the last 4 or 5 years, one of the biggest problems that we've had, during the season when it starts, you always think about somebody coming around for you. Somebody's going to step up. It can be one guy, it can be two guys. If we had that in our pitching, like the last couple of years and things like that, hey, we could have said, hey, we finally got some luck with our pitching and things like that. Same comes with playing defense or offense, and you just go out there and play as hard as you can every day, and things usually, I believe in in luck, and I believe that you make a lot of your luck, but at the same time too, you make your luck because you love to play and you play the game right and hard.
Did you ever feel like something like, obviously drafting Shane Victorino in the Rule 5 draft is a good move, but then you guys had to offer him back to the Dodgers. Does that fall under the category of good luck and they don't take him?
Well, yeah, I would say yes. That falls right into the luck. I say it falls into luck that Pat Gillick gets Matt Stars at half the season or the 2/3 of the season point or something like that, and he ends up getting big hits for us and or getting a home run that really like it put us on track for the World Series. Things like that. Huh?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I mean, that's it. That's how I look at things.
Were you ever amazed at how the luck turned the other way toward the end of your tenure as manager, where all of a sudden all your guys got old at once?
I want to tell you something. I think about that a little bit, but at the same time too, I thought about we got to the point where we had a lot of injuries, but at the same time too, we did not play near the baseball that we did in that one streaky span, like for about 5 or 6 years there. Like all of a sudden our value of play started drifting down, and we didn't ever, like it seemed like we, like that we didn't have the attitude or the hype or the grind and the hustle that was so important, and that could come from, hey, look, we didn't have all those regular players at the end, but at the same time too, like that's kind of what baseball is about. And I look at it sometimes, and I was very fortunate to stay there 9 years and enjoy the players that we seen and we had. And I would love to stay there forever, of course, but like it didn't happen that way.
And I'll just leave it on this. What's the luckiest thing you ever encountered in all your years in baseball?
Brad Litt struck out what's his name? Hinsky.
That's the lucky.
That's lucky. Hey, that might be as lucky. But then again, I had a lot of luck last year when I got out of the hospital.
that was the best luck of all.
So yeah, really. I mean, it's unreal.
Thank you, Chuck. It's great seeing you.
Yeah, Bob. Thank you.
All right, we got time for a few more. Let's go next to Rob Kessner and then Matt Breen.
Okay.
Charlie, good to see you. Good to see you back on your feet.
Thanks, man.
So I want to look back a little bit, if you don't mind. I mean, it's been a decade since the Phillies reached the postseason, and they did it with your team. I wonder now, with you having the benefit of, perspective, you can understand how much different the regular season is than a playoff run, right? So if we're looking just strictly at the regular season, was that 2011 team that you put together, was that the best team that you had during your time as the Phillies manager? And if so, what made them so special?
I think I don't know if it was the best offensive team that we had. It was close, but at the same time too, I think we played, if I'm not mistaken, we played in a lot of close ball games that year, and we won the close ball games, if you go back and look. And I thought the brand of baseball that we played in 11 might have been our best as far as defense, offense, and getting the pitching at the right time and those things. Except like when we faltered in the playoffs when we played St. Louis.
So if I could follow up just with this particular team 10 years later, that this drought has gone on now for a decade. Do you believe that this Phillies team has what it takes to get back to the postseason as you see it?
One of the biggest things that I've seen here in spring training is the camaraderie that we have, and players mixing with one another. Like in a lot of them, if you look at our team and you see the guys that we signed this winter, they've been with us 2 or 3 years, and then of course we got Harper and we got Baum, and we adding these additions, and it kind of puts me in the mind of when Pat Gillick made the big trade for us in the half a year when he cleaned some guys off of our team. I want to say that was in 2007 or something, 2006 or something. 2006. And when he cleaned some players off of our team and we kind of united together, I see the same thing happening here. We got a very good climate, I call it. right now, and you know, on our team in the clubhouse. I like all of our coaches that I've talked to so far. I enjoy being with the hitting coaches a lot. I think they're really hard workers. They got routines for everybody. They got it, and you know, like, and they coordinate their hitting. You know, like, and it's very, you know, like, and it's very in a professional way. They take each individual and you know, like, and they work with that one individual, spend more time with him than we have been in the last 3 or 4 years. But at the same time, as far as our team right now, tremendous feel on our club when we go outside and the players unite. And I say that the people that I say Joe Girardi and also Dave Grabowski and also the new coaches and the new players that we brought in, you fit well. I know most of the new players, and they're good clubhouse guys.
Thank you, Charlie. Great seeing you.
Thank you.
Hey, Charlie. After everything you've been through, health-wise, in the last year and a half, what does it mean to be able to be in Florida, to have a uniform on, to stand around the batting cage, and just to do what you've done your whole life, and to be able to do that again?
Absolutely great. The first time I saw batting practice, you know, the other day, I flipped out. I mean, I hadn't seen BP in 2 years, and actually I was so happy. I didn't say nothing. I just stood there and watched it and watched every bit of it. But then last year when the Phillies were playing, let me tell you something. I saw in those games, they played 60 games, and the ones that I could see on television, I saw starting of the game, every pitch all the way to the end of every one of their games that was on TV. And if I needed something, I'd get out of my chair, you know, like it's in between the innings and go get me a drink or something out of the refrigerator or something like that. I did not miss a pitch. I honestly can say that. But here at spring training, I can't explain to you how I feel. Exciting.
Was it hard last summer to not be at the ballpark? I can't imagine. Like, has there ever been a year that you didn't step foot in a ballpark?
Well, you know, like mostly I realize sometimes, you know, how I mingle and talk to a lot of people, and I miss that. You know, like I miss the part of talking and seeing the players play. You know, like, and kind of just sitting there analyzing, you know, like and you know, and watching them play the game and how they hit and how they pitch and how we play. And I could see that on television, but nothing was like going to the ballpark and going in the clubhouse and being ready to go down on the field, communicate with the players and BS or whatever, and you know, chat and hit them and whatever, you know, like, and tell them how good they are, you know. You know, I like to mingle with them, and you know, I miss it. I definitely missed it.
And about that Hall of Fame debate, if you went back to 08, you would, you know, you had a lot of like sure bet Hall of Famers at the time, and
Right.
You know, they're not sure bets anymore, but guys still have chances, and it's going to be coming up the next few years. Are you just eager to see how this all shakes out for those guys?
Yeah, I want to tell you something. We got some interesting players there. We got Jimmy Rollins, we got Howard, we got Utley. You know, I think Cole Hamels is going to continue on pitching, but at the same time, you know, like if you look at Ryan Howard for about 4 or 5 years there, Ryan Howard might have been the best hitter in the National League if you go by the number of runs he knocked in and the homers he hit and things like that. And he carried, you know, kind of a high average, especially, you know, for 3 or 4 years. And, you know, like you got I would say his production, you know, like in the years that we had it and also the team winning might have something to do with him getting into the Hall of Fame, or probably should be. And Jimmy Rollins, of course, is a guy that played every day. And, you know, like to me, he was an underrated player. He was he did not get the credit from a defensive side that I saw. From an offensive standpoint, his numbers speak for themselves, and comparing with shortstops as far as runs scored, RBIs, and even and things like that. And his bat, and the fact he stole bases, and he's knocking in the bottom of the order most of the time. That's where his ribbies are coming from. And he's been a better player than I think baseball. I think he's underrated has seen. I think he's been a better player than that.
Thanks a lot, Charlie.
And thank you.
And we'll finish up with Kevin Cooney.
Hey, Charlie, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. Wanted to ask a question kind of based off what Matt asked you, and you watched a lot of the sport last year, obviously from a different perspective. Theo Epstein talked this year about how the lack of action's hurt in the game and the approach that some hitters are taking. Kind of, did you see anything last year about hitters' approaches that alarmed you a little bit? I know you were always a power guy, but
Right.
maybe some guys going too far a little bit with it.
We basically, I tell it like it is. I think you know that. And I look at it and I don't see situation hitting no more. I don't see hitting runs. I don't see guys running. You like stealing bases. There are guys, there's fast guys in baseball and things like that. And we got away from moving runners and setting them and putting them in scoring position, things like that. And we definitely been trying to hit home runs. I look now, and if you want to know the truth, I think the teaching is coming back the other way, because now I still think that the swing in baseball is top to bottom, and it's not standing on back and just uppercutting up at the ball. I think baseball was 150 years old or something, and nobody taught uppercut, although there was hitters who was left alone, and they let them hit that way. But at the same time, too, to me, that's not the best model or the best approach in baseball. I'm a straight top to bottom hitter, and I think that those are the best kind of hitters. I look at that and I think anytime that I hit the ball from my belt down or keep my hands above the ball, that's a lift, because like it's a ball that you're looking down on and you lifting it, and you follow through makes it look like uppercut. Now, the ball above my hands, that's when my backside drops and my bat hit goes this way, and you swing up, and it's only about a space that big where you can make contact. So you got to be, and that proves it by the strikeouts.